Restream is gonna send this shit out to YouTube. Why would that be offline? Online? Alright, so we have allegedly.
Gonna be on Facebook Live soon. Check it out.
Send it out. No, actually, we're there now, man.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, let me start closing these video links down.
Okay.
That way, is it this one? Yeah, we don't need that live dashboard.
So what, like, people can see us now?
Yeah, yeah.
What's up, people?
We are actually there. I have the chat open. I'm going to pay attention to the chat. I have it right in front of my eyeballs today. If anybody types.
Good. Like, now, how is there a way on a phone, like, I could follow it too, like, to see if anybody...
What you want to do is you want to click on the video, but keep it muted.
Gotcha.
Or turn your volume all the way down.
And not do Tim. Is that what he was doing the one day?
Yeah, well, yeah, he was checking the video. And
gotcha.
then the sound actually went out, but we're in here. Yeah, I don't have many mishaps, but I have I remember seeing videos for that.
Right.
The bottle rocket thing, man. And it's like there's a whole there's and other people have said it too, but there's a whole reason why it's a bottle rocket.
Right.
You throw it in there, it's going to rattle around. It's got plenty of room for takeoff. There's nothing holding gripping it.
Right. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, an ass is not
Yeah.
the ideal launching pad for or launching spot for a bottle rocket.
Well, and you know, anytime somebody talks about putting something up their ass, not a good idea.
No.
Unless, I guess you're into it, but, you know, if you're into it, you're into it, whatever.
Right. No.
But no, like when I was younger, I'm in Osceola in the park. I don't know who it was, but they were setting off fireworks, and next thing I know, one just fucking whizzes past my face.
Past, yeah. I used to do that, light bottle rockets and like just barely hold it and launch it with your hand.
Right.
But no, it's
a little bit dangerous, huh?
Yeah. All right, I think we're connected where we need to. I'm going to give a moment, and we're going to roll the live intro.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, Brandon.
So what else is going on, Nick?
Nothing, man. Just that I heard, I heard them talking about that on the podcast, and it's like as soon as I heard that, I paused the show real quick, and God, I remember seeing it on YouTube. I'm gonna say as back as early like 2011, 2012, and I'm not saying nobody's done that successfully,
right?
But more than one person has ended up where it didn't take off, and then the initial rocket part of it burnt the hell out of them. And
I gotcha. When
you got that going, you're going through a couple layers of skin at best.
Right, because how many layers are there? 7 layers of skin?
Something like that.
Yeah, I always thought it was funny. Like, people ask me about my tattoos, you know. They're like, how did you not feel that on your bone? And I'm like, look, they don't go far in your skin. Like, if you think about it, it's only just a minimum, just far enough.
A little bit, yeah.
You know,
to keep it in there.
Right, to keep it in there.
You got to admit though, have you ever been around when somebody's been like getting a tattoo and it goes across the collarbone?
My elbow. Oh my God!
It makes a god awful noise.
Like a grind. Yeah, I'll never forget that sound.
Yeah,
it was like my elbow was grinding.
Yeah, I didn't have it on my elbow, but
you're close.
I have it on that whatever that bone is there.
Yep.
And it rattled like.
And you know what the fucked up thing is? I got one on my back, so right along the spine, and I fell asleep.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
You know,
there you go.
Out of all places to get one and fall asleep. Plus, I got a Dora the Explorer tattoo on my back. But, you know, I can thank Jalen for that. But no, I had like one crazy day yesterday. Like, you know, did you ever have those days where, you know, you wake up, you know you have to do something, and so you call just to, just for a reminder of when you have to do it. Okay. Well, I did that yesterday. I had an appointment. And I call and say, you guys didn't send me a message yesterday, so I'm just wondering when I should come in. And I get this. We had to push your appointment back a week.
Right.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why didn't you call me?
Yeah, or get it...
Or send me a text.
Yeah, this wonderful technology we have these days, especially where it's not opt out by default. You have to opt in, and they ask you usually when you start going here or there.
Right.
Do you want a notification, a message?
Right.
All it takes is a simple somebody having to push a couple buttons, and that will get sent out to you.
Yeah.
Or the computer, whenever they change it in the computer, the server should ship that message out.
Right.
And yeah.
And the fucked up thing was my brother, same deal, but they did text him.
Oh yeah. Well, that's.
Maybe they don't like me. I don't know.
Mishaps, man. That's how we're here today. Actually.
Yeah.
We're not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but
no, our co-hosts had things to do.
Watch out! Here comes that yellow school bus.
So we thought, why not?
Yeah, sit down and do it.
And I don't know. I'm kind of getting used to talking, and everything, and I kind of like to hear myself now.
Yeah, well, I hate hearing myself.
Well, if Jimmy was here, he'd just talk about all the beautiful ladies that I always talk about.
That's all right.
Well, I know, but he thinks I'm trying to get a girlfriend. I don't have fucking time for another,
That's a tough thing. I'm married. I'm not saying not saying married stuff, but like to look at life and look what you have to do daily, and say you got appointments to go to, kids bring appointments in school, and a whole new level of responsibility. And then like shop around. Yeah, man. And then if you got hobbies.
Exactly. Like how would I have time to do anything?
How do you balance some scales?
Right. My simple point was that there are a lot of beautiful women in the world, and a lot of people don't realize it. Or they take it for granted, or they're too scared to say something to them.
Right.
Well, I'm not anymore. I used to be terrified.
Talking, I think with the rise of just social media in general, do you remember cell phones when they really caught on? Like, let's take a look back at history. Okay, we had like Nextel.
I had the
cell phones,
Nextel.
And you had Nextel where you could walkie-talkie to people. That was kind of popular for a time. Some people used it well beyond when everybody else stopped using it.
Right.
And that was a thing, and people were like, "Oh, text messaging. This is dumb. Who would do that? Why are you going to stop what you're doing, send a message? Just call me."
Right.
And then text messaging, I think once some of the younger generations came out of being kids, that were familiar with technology, really embraced it, and look,
it's out of control now. I mean, I have to ask my daughter sometimes. I'll be like, "What does SMH stand for?" And she's like, she looks at me like, "Yeah." She's like,
"My goodness,
Dad," shaking my head, and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, I don't
like. I don't get. I know what AF means.
I don't know all those.
Okay.
Like I don't.
Oh, dude, there's a ton of them.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know them all, but the only one that I do know and use, and it's not even one of those. It's just like it's a new saying, but like I answer my phone, I'll be like, new phone, who dis? And it's not even a new phone, but I just do that.
Here's a good one for you. I used to be obsessed with the show NCIS. So
Which one?
the original.
Okay.
But I would watch which one? Los Angeles occasionally, and there was a character on there, and I started to really listen to how he talked. Okay, and it took a year until I was finally able to use it. So every telemarketer that would call,
Right.
I'd be like, using this voice, I'd be like, and it sounded more Russian. I don't want to do it right this second. I'll do it before the episode's over. My mouth's dry.
Russian.
But, and they don't ever call back.
What?
Like I tell them I'm from the Russian embassy.
Well,
and
when
if
you harass them?
Yeah. Like I give it right back to them because it's so ridiculous.
Dude, yeah, I mean, I understand they have a job to do.
Right.
And you know what? I don't want to call them telemarketers, but they basically are.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, the ones that I've dealt with lately, the past 3 years, and it's my own damn fault. I made a donation to police. The guy that was calling was representing, I think, police officers and soldiers that died in the line of duty.
Right.
And they were trying to get donations, so I donated like $15, and they sent me a letter, a thank you letter and stuff. But then after that, they called. It was like a whole year before they called. And now they're doing these drives like every 2 to 3 months. The calls start coming and coming, and it's like, I'm never mean about it. I've donated more than once a year, but I have one requirement. Every time they call, I'm at work.
Right.
And I'm like, look, I explain this. I'm like, what's your name? And they tell me. I'm like, when do you work again? And they tell me, and I'm like, okay, on this day, I will have time to give you my card. I don't have it with me now. I will donate. You personally call me back from between this time to this time. That's when you're working.
Right.
You call me. Make a note right now. Call this number back, and I'll make the donation gladly when I have time. But I'm at work now. I got to go.
Right.
Maybe twice somebody's called back. Other than that, I keep getting just random people.
Did you ever get this one? Like I got this one, and it was probably a month, like every couple days, saying your Apple ID's been messed with. Call us back at Apple. So I call Apple, the real Apple, right?
Oh, the real
and
one.
I'm like, you would never call me, right? And they said, we never call anybody. We'd send you a letter. Okay. So then I start fucking with these people when they call. Because it'd be about my iCloud address was hacked or my Apple ID. And I'd say, which one? And he said, your Apple ID. I said, I know. Which one?
Yeah, which one?
I have 10.
Right.
And then, that right away throws them off.
They don't ever have answers.
And then I go into, you need to stop calling me. I know you're fucking fake. Apple doesn't call people. Microsoft doesn't call people.
None of them do.
No. They send a registered letter so they know that if it's sent to you and you signed for it or whatever, that you received it.
Right. Or whoever signed for it at least received it. At the bare minimum.
Yeah.
That's actually a good note. That's a long ago episode of even a different podcast I was going to do that I never got done because the co-host for that show lost interest. But we were going to do an episode on scammers.
Right.
And that, take your pick. Like, this is a public service announcement, I guess.
Yeah.
Like you just said, take your pick. Name your company.
Right.
Dell, Apple, Samsung, Microsoft, any computer device manufacturer, big tech company is much too busy with warranty, repairs, sales, marketing, research and development, making new products.
They could give a fuck about your ID.
They're not gonna reach out to you. Now, if you reach out to them, you might get a call back.
Right.
If you called and got on a list to be called back.
Right.
They're not going to call you out of the blue.
No.
They're too busy doing what they do to make the products and service them and sell them to you to actually, hey, your drivers are out of date, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
If you get a call,
it's
a
fake.
scam. It's not
It's a scam.
legit.
And just like something pops up saying you win a free iPhone
in your browser.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
free iPhone, free iPad.
It took me almost a month to convince my mother that she did not win this iPhone 11. You have to put, the lady kept telling her, well, as soon as you put your card in, and I kept telling her, do not put your card in.
Right. Chances are you're going to get scammed for a lot more than the cost of that phone.
Exactly.
And by that time, if you get scammed for 2, 3, 4 times the cost of a phone, you could have saved money and went and bought the phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And done a lot less work.
Right. Exactly. Because everything's went down. I don't know if you've seen around Christmas how they had 60-inch TVs under $300.
Yeah.
When I bought mine, it was almost $1,000.
Doorbusters on Black Friday.
Yeah.
I don't get into that whole madness.
Right.
I remember Black Friday used to be a shopping thing, and then it kind of evolved. Like, social media devices helped spread it. Like, more and more people got into it, it seemed. And there'd be people talking about where they're lined up, what they're planning on getting,
Right.
And then it got to a madness point where people start getting trampled for a toaster.
Yeah, exactly. For a toaster that costs $5 less than it would the next day.
What are you doing? Now, granted, if you can get like a TV for like $50, it's normally $300. Okay,
right.
Then
I
you're
get
talking.
that.
But to save $10 on a toaster, get out of here.
And to stand in line for hours, some people do that too.
And I'm not making fun of people, but camping out waiting on the release of the new iPhone.
Yeah.
Like that.
When the new iPhone, the iPhone 11 came out, I went over to get it, and I thought maybe I should go over when they open just in case. I went over, there was nobody there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
And I've waited in line for concerts before. I think I don't understand the people over at Penn State for the Penn State football games. Camping out in the fucking cold
for the game.
Yeah, for all week. They'll camp out all week, like pre-game and
pre-game. Then the game happens, and then they stay longer, or they leave.
No, then they leave after being there a week. Fuck, you get hypothermia sometimes.
How can you camp? Where can you camp out at?
Right at the Bryce Jordan Center, I guess.
They let you camp out there?
Yeah.
That's bananas. That seems like that would be against like city ordinances, right, or whatever that word is.
And the only conclusion I can come up with is there's a lot of drinking and a lot of fucking going on, because those are the two ways to stay warm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
It does make sense.
It does. I don't see staying warm any other way.
No.
Part of football season, at least, is in the cold. Like, when is the season over for the NFL? Super Bowl ends it, and then they have some little couple games after that.
They have a Pro Bowl.
Okay,
but just one.
Well, then, what about college? What's don't they have a bunch of different bowls?
Oh my God, I couldn't name the amount of bowls they have.
But yeah, no, I mean, and depending on where you're playing, some stadiums are, wherever in different states, warmer states.
I think they try and keep the majority of them in the warmer states,
right? Just
so people don't have to freeze watching a game.
Dude, that'd be nuts.
I went to one Penn State game, and it was one of the worst experiences of my life.
Was it snowing?
No, it was just freezing and raining is what it was doing. And I remember telling my buddy, I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, but I'm out of here. Right. I'm fucking froze.
Yeah, no, I don't dig the cold. I've done it a couple times waiting on a concert. Not the thing for me.
How about it? So
hey, if you want to see the show, you gotta. There's always a price of admission, it seems.
Right, and unless you're thinking that you're going to get right up front, and I will say, it paid off once for me. I went to see Smashing Pumpkins and Stone Temple Pilots at the Bryce Jordan Center.
Right.
And I ended up in the second row.
Hey.
So
there you go, man.
You know.
I don't mind concerts like that. I've seen quite a few bands. Chili Peppers, Leonard Skinner.
Did you ever see Manson?
Yes.
Boy, does he put on a show.
Yes, he does. I've seen shows like that where it's big arenas, and I've seen ones where there's room to sit out on the lawn.
Right.
And you're not in a crowd of people. That's a much better experience.
Yes.
And then I've seen ones like at the Crowbar. That's my favorite type of thing
Me
to
too.
do. The smaller venues where they pack probably more people than they're legally allowed to have in there.
Right. And then you can also have the option of sitting upstairs and just enjoying yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I started going there, I wasn't old enough to go upstairs. But
okay. You know, I actually had Matt. You know who Max Cavalera is from?
The skater?
No, he might be a skater. Soulfly, the band Soulfly.
No. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. But yeah, no, he's not a skater.
I had taken an old girlfriend there to see them.
At the Crowbar?
Yeah, and I went to get a beer. I come back, and this motherfucker's hitting on my girlfriend. So I'm like, dude, go get the fuck out of here, man.
Get going.
Yeah, like he must have been watching and waiting for me to leave.
Some people are like that.
Yeah. And you should have seen her face. She was eating it up, you know.
Well,
because
rock star.
Right, rock star.
There you go, man.
And yeah, whatever.
Hey,
dude.
not everybody can be famous on flat Earth.
Right. Yeah. How about it?
Come on. I'm trying to be a celebrity on this great flat plane we're on, but
yeah,
it doesn't work out so good for me.
Right. Me either. What else you want to talk about?
Well, the holiday mishap thing. I really only had that one in it just because I was thinking about fireworks when I heard another show talk about that, and I paused it and started looking for videos and how far back I'd seen these. And I'm like, oh, fireworks at New Year's. I was like, well, granted, I'm not in New York, but I don't like people used to do that around here.
We did that.
People used to shoot guns off at midnight. I haven't. Maybe, granted, I hope they're not in town firing guns off.
Right.
But I haven't heard it for years.
So you didn't hear the fireworks on New Year's Eve? Because
man.
we set off some huge ones.
Was it around midnight?
Yeah, it was like 5 after midnight.
I don't know.
And it was right up by the elementary school, like towards Black Shannon.
No.
The first pull off.
None of that. No, I was down above above the shop.
And they were like, we even had the kids, you know, because they were the ones where you could, it's just like a big, not like a bottle rocket. So people out there don't think that I'm letting my daughter hold on to bottle rockets. But it was like a different type of firework that they could hold on to. And it just like, you know, would shoot out lights and whatever.
Right.
But they had a blast.
Yeah.
And while everybody else was wasted or, you know, doing whatever in the bars or...
Yeah. No, I dig doing that. Letting kids experience something new.
Yeah.
Or something new, something fun, something that maybe they done or saw or experienced when they're younger. But when they start getting older, that's when, you know,
right.
The older they get, the more fun they are.
Right. And
so,
I mean, Jalen was scared at first, you know, but...
Oh, yeah.
Dude, but when we left, she wanted to keep doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't even, it was after, you know, after holidays end, whatever is selling for that holiday is always much cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not saying be a cheap ass and just don't buy stuff for the 4th or for Halloween. You know, don't go buy no candy. You know,
right.
Obviously, you get free candy on Halloween, but you can buy bags of it much cheaper.
Right.
After the holiday.
And some of it drops hundreds of dollars. Like I bought my daughter an LOL dollhouse a few years ago. It was almost $200.
LOL?
Yeah. I go in there the next day, it was $50.
I know that name, man.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
I got a 6-year-old.
Yeah, you definitely know LOL then. And Shopkins, I'm sure you know that.
Oh, my, yes. We could go on and on.
Yeah, but I started
talk.
keeping all her toys because, see, mine were all thrown out. I had all the wrestlers, the Transformers, you know, stuff that's worth a lot of money today.
Yeah,
so
very highly collectible.
Yeah, collectible. So I thought, she's got all this stuff. We're going to hold on to it. And when she gets older, she has a chance to cash in. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I wish I had some of the toys I had. Not that they would be mint condition or the most valuable on the planet,
Right.
but metal transformers.
Yeah.
Do you remember those?
I do.
I had a bunch.
See that, and they'd be highly collect anything metal and tin,
Yeah, I don't know. And I had some dumb stuff too. I don't know. I don't even remember what they were called, but they were like the little wrestling guys that were tan.
Yeah. Okay.
I forget what they were even called. They were dumb, real dumb.
Right.
But I had a bunch of those.
Well, I'll give you an example of something dumb I had. Do you remember the old Michael Jackson jacket, red one with all the zippers and the glove? Oh,
I didn't have the glove.
Dude.
I lost my glove, but I had the jacket.
I was doing as soon as I opened it, I turned into Michael.
Right? I think I got mine for like Easter or some crazy holiday.
Okay. And then my brother got one too, so we were both Michael Jackson.
That was a big thing back then. Like you know what? Maybe we're the only two weirdos in this whole big world.
I doubt it. There's people that had that.
I know a lot of other kids that showed up at school with their Michael Jackson.
Right. And now it's JoJo Siwa. She took over because everything, like you go in Target,
JoJo.
Oh
my goodness.
Everything's JoJo. And you know why? Because she's a mouthy little bitch, to be honest.
Yes.
And she gets it honest. Her mom is miserable.
But think about the pressure of life,
Right.
and then add in being like an online, like a public personality,
Right.
And then on top of that, being a famous one, and then you have, because she had makeup out that had something like poisonous or whatever in it. It was making people sick, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe it had asbestos. I'm not sure. But yeah, there was makeup kits you couldn't buy of hers that, there was a warning out for them.
Right.
And you're trying to build your brand.
Right.
Be family friendly, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then boom, you're selling poisonous makeup or whatever debacle happened.
And a lot of people, that would have ended them.
Yeah, sank their ship.
But she, I don't know, she's marketable, I guess.
The one I don't understand is the little kids that swear that are showing how much money they have.
Oh, Lil Tay.
Yeah.
Have you seen Lil Tay? I told Jalen once, I was like, CJ, you can do this. We'll call you Lil J.
Yeah.
Flash around a bunch of ones. And did you see that?
No.
Oh, yeah. There was just a couple of 20s and all the other bills were ones.
Dude, but some of them actually do have money.
Yeah.
Because they made money because of becoming popular.
Right. And out of control.
It's I don't know. I think it'd be cool that my kid made something, but it's I don't know if I want to be associated with you acting like that.
Right.
I'm sorry, but that's not how people act, even for likes or views or dollars.
Right. Well, that little Tay, her mom put that was scripted by her mother.
That's all right.
She ended up losing her job because that was all real. She worked for real estate. So all those houses that she was saying was her pad or whatever, those were other people's houses.
Or houses that were on the market.
Right. And the Lamborghini, that was her boss's Lamborghini. And she kicked that.
So a lot of that was fake.
That was all fake, yeah.
Except the dent.
Except the dent. And the little girl's actually a nice little girl. Because they showed an interview of how she normally is, But yeah, some people take it way too far. It's just
Yeah, I will agree there. I never understood how they became a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, where does that idea come from?
I don't know. Well, the girl that said, I forget her name.
Are you talking?
Catch Me Outside. How about that?
How about that?
Come on.
Dr. Phil?
Yeah, Dr. Phil. You don't know how many times I've wrote to that guy.
Dr. Phil?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because back in the day when I was married, my wife constantly thought I was doing something, cheating on her. Didn't matter what it was. And I wrote to Dr. Phil, I wrote to Oprah, I wrote to Maury Povich, I wrote to everybody saying, I need to find somebody that will give me a lie detector test so I can prove that I'm not doing anything.
Right.
Because she wouldn't,
one of them type things.
Yeah. And I mean, it shouldn't have had to happen, but it did.
You probably could have paid the state police for it. I think they have that equipment.
I know, but I wanted to be on TV to do it.
Yeah, why not?
You know, if
you should have wrote Springer.
Yeah,
That
I
would have been
know.
the guy.
But then he'd probably want us to act a little bit and, you know, have her throw a cake in my face. And
well, who knows? Like, think about that. If they go on stage, they're getting crazy, right?
Right.
Now, and I'm not passing judgment on all women or all guys, obviously, but there's been guys that have hit girls on Jerry Springer, and there's been a lot more women that have hit guys or girls that hit guys. Do you think you get charges out of that?
You know, I always wondered
afterward, the aftermath.
You would think so. Like if the people didn't really like each other,
or whenever you're trying to find out what's going on with your relationship, and you show up to the show, and your girl's there with another guy, and then you get in a fight with the guy.
Right?
Is the show, is the network pressing charges?
Right? Or do you face actual police charge, you know,
right?
But I know if I would go on that show and that would have happened to me, there'd be no question I'd be going after that guy.
Oh,
you know,
for sure.
And even though it's not all his fault,
no,
but still,
it takes two, man. It takes two. Another thing, just to show that people are people, we're just dumb animals,
right? We're a zoo that the aliens are watching, guys.
Maybe,
yeah.
It's big,
it's been a theory.
Big flat zoo. Yeah. Jerry's bodyguard on that show, Steve, the big bald one.
Okay.
He has his own show.
Yeah.
I don't know if he still has it.
Yes, the Steve Wilkos show.
Yeah.
I like that show.
He was always my favorite on Springer.
Yeah.
Like when he got involved, like people usually shut up, sat down.
I like when he'll go right at it, get right in their face and say, do something.
Yeah, that or he gets right to the point. Like,
right.
You know, enough bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Like, and it makes me wonder if maybe some of those people don't know what they're going on there for. Because if I knew I was going on there for Steve Wilkos to get in my face and tell me how much of a fucking douchebag I was, I wouldn't accept it.
No.
You know? No. So I think there's a little bit of deception on the actual show content.
Well, for some people that get brought in.
Right.
Like if you're not the one that contacts them and wants to find out, you're being brought on for whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I never been on a show like that. Never was invited. Never nothing. Not even a call in.
The only kind of show I've ever been on, I went to see Colin O'Brien, and I'm telling you, it was funny. And that motherfucker
like in the audience?
he
that's cool.
is tall.
Oh yeah, like
but it's weird how they run it. Like he said some things that weren't funny.
Did they have to do retakes of anything?
A couple things.
Yeah.
But as soon as he'd say something that wasn't funny, there'd be like signs and people like applause. You know, so
that's where you start booing.
Yeah. And some people do.
They're like, you get him out of here.
Yeah.
Kick him out of the audience. No.
I wanted to bring something up while have you heard about this? Kids now picking on other kids about one of their parents being dead.
I'm pretty sure that's always been a thing, but
I never knew that was a thing.
I mean, not really a thing, but like when somebody would make like a smart comment about, oh, your mom or your dad,
Right.
And it's like, hey, asshole, my dad's dead.
Right.
They'd be sensitive about that. So that was a thing. But an actual trend where kids are picking on other kids that
just because they don't have a mom or a dad.
That's kind of crazy. Like,
yeah. That's what's going on in our area.
That's a little bit of bullying, I think.
That's extreme bullying. And if you're watching, if you listen later, if you do that shit to my daughter,
that's
and
crazy.
It happens in this district, I would do whatever I can to tear that school apart.
Yeah, man.
I'll be up there every day. I'll be talking shit about them every day on a podcast.
that's crazy. If that's actually a thing,
Yeah.
like
I've had a couple people tell me that.
but why? Like,
You can't help that your parent died. Why would you know? Like,
well, not only that, I'm not a bully, so maybe I don't have the right mindset,
right?
you know. But like, how? I mean, some people are just cruel. We
Yeah.
can put it down to that.
Right.
But what?
Does that have to? Does it come from the parents? You know, like, do they hear the parents talking about it? Because how would they even know unless,
right?
you know,
Or unless, you know what I mean, it's something that a child shares and then other people hear it.
right? And then they're like, well, we know how to get to this person now.
There's a hot button right there. Hit that
Right.
button. You know, buttons, when they get pressed, it makes people mad.
But kids, if you're listening to and you're saying that to people, karma's a bitch.
Yeah, what are you doing?
You're young,
What are you doing?
and some of these kids grow up and they're gonna be bigger than you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
watch out.
And they're gonna
Watch
come.
out.
They're gonna come for you.
Another thing too is, and I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know how far back a potential employer or a company is going to be willing to look. But the whole whatever, hanging out, having a good time on New Year's, or you go with your friends to whatever concert and you decide it's a good idea to strip down and streak or what,
Right.
and then you want to be a teacher 2 years later. Yeah, probably not your best plan to put it
No.
on social media and have all your friends share it.
No. And social media it's so easy to capture somebody doing something anymore.
Well, think about when we were kids. Your family and your friends' families may have a camera that would come out for holidays, special events. Depending, you know, I wasn't, you know, I had a split family. Like, I had a dad and then a mom and a stepdad.
Right.
Neither of us were what I would call rich, maybe like lower to middle class, whatever.
Right.
A friend of the family's, my dad's, had a camcorder, but it was one of the big ones that recorded to a VHS that you sit on your shoulder.
Yeah,
like a
I
big
remember
news
them.
camera. Yeah, but other than that there
Yeah,
weren't
and
really
who's going to
cameras.
want to pull that out to capture, you know,
Right.
like a 15-second moment
Right,
or
but
whatever.
now there's cameras everywhere, and not only do they take pictures, they record video.
Yeah.
You know, so
And all you got to do is, it's sometimes with some of them, is just either click the button on the side and then you're automatically recording,
true.
you know, and that's kind of messed up.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
why they're always finding cameras in bathrooms and, you know, like these stores. I just seen something about that.
Not only that, the level to what that they can make technology now. Like how small you can make an actual camera that works, that will transmit a signal wirelessly, is scary.
It is. And how much more, and be honest, Nick, how much smaller do you think that they can actually go?
Oh,
Because they're talking quantum.
yeah.
So is that like smaller than we can see?
Yeah, basically. I mean, quantum would be smaller than microscopic. So,
Okay.
yeah, you're talking. That's like atom level, I guess. But I'm not super smart. But
Right.
Yeah. There's some of the technology proposed and ways they could use it. You're like, yeah, that's great. But if you look at what they're saying, how they want to use this tech, that's awesome. But if you pay attention not to what they're saying, but what they're not saying and every other way it could be used, it's downright scary.
Well, the Space Force, the Air Force and Navy, they're not involved in it. So they can
Right.
do whatever they want.
Right.
But they left that out.
Do you think that's Trump wanting like like bullies that can pick on other countries from space?
I think it's more or less him trying to do something that nobody's done to protect satellites. Because I honestly don't think he thinks there's aliens. Why, I don't know. Maybe
Right.
he does. Or maybe he knows.
Yeah, maybe he knows.
But with trillions of planets and Earth only being around what, three, few,
I don't even know.
right?
Yeah.
But compared to the overall universe,
Yeah, 13.
there could be civilizations that have gone and died.
Yeah,
Before
evolved and died.
yeah,
who
before
knows?
we even.
There's no record, man.
No. Well, there's the Akashic record.
Here, you want I don't, and I'm never out to disparage people. Okay, and I'm not putting somebody down with my next little statement here. You brought up space, though.
And I always will.
Yeah, and space is awesome. I recently had a conversation with somebody. Okay, and I don't even know how we got onto it. Maybe I think I might have made, a smart-ass flat earth comment. Okay.
Wow.
And anyways, the conversation, it got to the point, and it was just real brief, a couple minutes. And he's like, I don't understand about NASA and all these other agencies and people claiming that there's all this other stuff out there. I see no reason why God would take what he did here with the heavens and the earth and our sun and our planet and repeat it billions, trillions of times out there. And I'm like, okay, explain more, because I want to make sure I'm understanding. I want clarification.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, yeah, all these other galaxies and stars, there's no way to know that stuff's really out there. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, you've never looked at the Andromeda galaxy? Well, no, why would I?
Right.
It's crazy to think that God would take in, repeat it over and over again, what we have, this place we have here.
Right.
I'm like, well, maybe not repeat identically this, but there's stuff out there.
Right.
Like you
and it's just got to be the right chemicals involved. And
can I prove what it is out there? No. But I have a pretty big, pretty powerful telescope.
Right.
That I can look at Jupiter, I can look at Saturn, I can look at the Andromeda galaxy, some of our closer planets, and it's not just a little twinkle in the sky.
Right.
Like, if I get a solar filter, I can look at our sun. I don't have one. I filmed the eclipse with my camera with filters for it.
Okay.
But they're not even near big enough. I need monster filters for my telescope.
Well, some people think it's like a hologram too that they're looking at. Like none of it's real up there.
No.
What the fuck's are astronauts up there for then?
Yeah.
Like some people just don't research and educate.
I don't know if it's that or if they stopped learning once high school ended, or maybe they quit school early. I don't know.
Right, and they just have no interest in learning anything else.
Yeah, but it just this conversation, he's like, yeah, like I don't think any of that is even out there. I just think it's all lies. And I'm like, I have a telescope. If you ever want to change your worldview and your beliefs,
right,
a little, and I'm not saying you need to,
right,
because if you are religious, and this guy is, and I'm like, that's your thing, that's cool, that's fine. But if you want to learn that there may be something else out there too, not saying that
and it has nothing to see, that's my big thing.
Right. It's
just
not,
because there's trillions of planets out there doesn't mean there can't be a God.
Right.
Somebody had to create.
Right.
Nothing comes from nothing. There had to have been something.
And this is going to sound real dumb, but God creating the heavens and the earth, okay? The heavens and then the earth. And then the Big Bang.
Right.
Where in or whatever it is, cosmic inflation, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Who's to say that science and religion aren't talking about the same event?
Exactly.
Tomato.
Right. And it's that there's so many people.
They could be.
That, love to fight, pretty much. Why would they have so many physicists, make specific shows to educate people? Shows.
Like, people spend half their life in college learning.
Right.
And yeah, I don't
And for you to think that it's all not real,
or you know more than them and you never went to one day of college yourself.
Right. That to me just No.
A little bit crazy?
Yeah, I don't even, yeah.
See, you're more expert than the experts. That's what you're telling me.
Right, yeah. And come on.
All right. All right, man. I got some rope for sale.
But, here's another thing I wanted to talk about.
All right.
Like, I've had some women try and get a hold of me lately. And
that can be good or bad.
Well,
man.
and I wanted to ask you because I wanted to know what you thought about it. I have a certain standard, okay?
Standard?
Of person.
Oh, okay.
And it's not just looks, just the type of person that this woman is, or any woman.
Right.
I don't feel like I should drop those because I do get horny. I'm a fucking 40-year-old man.
Right.
That does nothing but take care of his child.
Right.
But do you think I should drop my standards just to fulfill myself?
I don't know, man.
I don't think I should because then,
no, I mean,
who knows? It might, I might be doing stuff that I never would have thought I'd do.
Yeah. I mean, is
that a viable argument? Like,
yeah,
that I have with myself? Like, no, Todd, you're not going to do this.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not worth it.
That's one way to look at it. I'd say one way is it all depends what you want.
Right.
Do you compromise one thing today and then start just
yeah, see,
throw it all away?
I hope I don't get to that point.
Throw it all away. Why not?
I really hope I don't. But see, you can't find, at least I can't find any, and it's probably because most people don't want to admit it. If I could find somebody, a friend with a benefit that has their own shit going on,
that's tough to do, man.
and it is. But I don't know if it's because people are afraid to say that's what they want, or if it's that more people just want that companionship, and but it's hard to have that when you have kids.
Oh yeah, no, it is.
Like I'd love to be able to,
There's one thing that's really difficult, and not to cut you off.
No,
is when you try to take two worlds, and your world being you have a kid, have experience with raising a kid, and maybe the other person have no kids, but they have experience around watching or babysitting a kid. When you try to mix those two worlds, there's some learning curve, not a learning curve, learning curves, many of them.
Right.
And it don't always work out.
No, or you run into the case where you run into somebody that has a parent that doesn't do anything for their kids.
Yeah.
And that's what I ran into recently.
Yeah.
And I ended up having to ghost this person because she would not leave me alone. And I did. And I'm not the type of person to be rude, but I tried everything. I gave her so many suggestions on how to keep her kids under control. And everything I said, she's like, no, that wouldn't work. And I'm thinking, if you're not even going to try
or consider
it.
Yeah.
I'm not, that's it. I'm done. No more talking.
Yep.
Don't bother me again.
That. That's one thing. And that's a lot of situations in life. I think I could be wrong. I'm not an expert at life living. But when you want to take two separate parties, there always has to be some level of compromise, understanding.
Yeah.
And it can't all be one-sided. When it's all one-sided, that's unfair, in my opinion.
And unhealthy.
And very unhealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. It never leads to anywhere good.
No.
In my experience.
Right. And in my experience, it ends to everything bad. And not
usually,
just bad.
Generally, yes.
Terrible. You know what I mean? Like somebody gets hurt.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't have to.
How bad can we make this?
Yeah.
No, I'm not an expert on relationships or none of that.
Me either, but I've been through so many and been treated like shit so many times that it's helped me recognize the sort of behavior that's happened before, and if
Right.
I
Oh,
recognize it now, I can bail.
That's not just an AA thing,
Right.
Repeating the same thing over and over, expecting different results,
Right.
And it is the definition of insanity.
Yeah.
But it's not. You can apply that to life,
lots of things,
to life in general.
Yep.
Yeah. If you keep doing the same thing, and you're like, oh,
one of these days it'll change.
Yeah, it's not.
No.
But more power to you if you're the type that want to think it will. Sure. Do it. Try it.
Right. Yeah. Try it. Let us know how it works.
Oh, leave some comments out there. I'm still getting over a cold, by the way, people. So,
and I'm so lucky because I haven't got it yet. And
you don't want it, man.
What? There we go.
Yeah, we got wood here.
We got wood.
We got wood.
Come on, Rhino.
I don't know the reference.
I just said Rhino. It's from a game. My daughter likes that. Like I come up with voices and say stuff. Like
I make up dumb songs, dude.
Right.
To entertain my kids and my cat.
Well, and it does too.
I think I more or less annoy everybody, but I have fun doing it, so why not?
Do you know Miranda Sings? Do you know who she is? The YouTuber?
No.
She's Colleen Ballinger's her real name, but she plays the character Miranda Sings.
Okay.
And you might want to look her up because she talks real nasally.
Okay.
And
I'll check it out.
My daughter is spot on with her. Like the one day I was watching TV and the next thing I know she's saying about, "Hey Dad, can you get my cheese bones?" And it sounded just like this girl. And I'm like,
good at doing the impression.
Yeah, she's pretty good at doing impressions.
There's and I would never encourage the whole world go have kids.
Right.
But for anybody, man, anybody that has a kid will understand perfect what I'm saying. If you have none, then you're going to be like clueless, and
right?
Dumbass. You can think what you want about me, but there are times where when you have a kid, and granted, we don't have the experience of giving birth to a child,
right?
But we were being there for it. That's about as close as you can get if you're a man. I think. Maybe science will change that. I don't know. But there's different milestones that happen in the progression of a kid's life that it just like your whole just your perspective, view on things just changes multiple times.
Oh, way too many times.
Yeah,
it's kind of uncomfortable sometimes.
Oh, it is. And one of them is that first initial realization, like, wow, I'm responsible not just for me, but this is more important now.
Right.
Like, screw, And then another big one for me was obviously kids going to start babbling, talking, cooing when they're a baby. They have a first word. That's kind of cool. But I don't think that first word is as cool as the point when they look at you and say something in it. They some of the words and the pronunciation's off, but it's like a sentence that makes sense. And
right.
That was with each kid of mine, anyways. When they said something to me and it clicked, like, oh, I got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, wow.
Yeah, that's an awesome feeling.
It is.
Yeah.
And then it's also like, am I getting knifed in my sleep? It's tonight.
Well, it's funny you say that,
Dad?
because
no, I'm just kidding.
No, I had an aunt that committed suicide, and her son actually did try and kill her in her sleep.
Tried to kill her?
Yeah. And he was 9 or 10 years old.
Wow.
Yeah,
it was good, man.
And I don't normally talk about it, but
no,
it was a fucked up situation, and it happens. But what I wanted to say is, I've heard, not so much on Facebook, but like when I'm out in public and that, people always say, ask me why I swear in front of my daughter. Okay, because I do.
That's the world.
It's not the 1950s.
No.
You know what I mean? She doesn't go out and call people an asshole.
Right.
If she wants to say what somebody said, she'll say, "Daddy, it's a swear word. Can I say it?"
Right.
But people get so offended that I don't get it. They're words.
Do you have kids? I mean, okay, trade them. Just
Right,
straight
yeah.
up trade them. Be like, all right, you want to apply roles for
Right.
me and my kid, then I'll trade you. Let me apply some for you and yours.
And that's another thing I hate is people trying to tell me how to raise my kid.
Well, that's a good thing. If they want to, if they want to do that, tell you how, and they have kids, then trade them. Be like, you can change some stuff here, but I'm changing stuff there. Is that a fair deal?
Yeah, but
Like,
see, most of the ones
come on now.
that tell me stuff don't have kids,
Well, then they
which
don't-
makes it even worse.
Yeah, that no room to speak.
No, but you're doing it anyway.
Take on the challenge, man. Take
Yeah.
on the challenge. Yeah, I'll never be dad of the year.
See,
I don't want to be though. That's
Right.
not my not
see,
my
that's
job.
me. I do whatever I can, and
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
This is one of such many things that dads might enjoy, moms too. I don't know any ladies that are into podcasting, or I
A
know
couple
lot-
gamers,
Listen,
I've seen.
right. I know a lot. No, I'm talking about in real life, ladies.
Okay,
I know a lot that like to talk and get on Facebook,
right,
social media and stuff.
but that's just texting.
Right. But
A lot of people will text something, but they won't say it. Have you ever noticed that? It's the same fucking thing.
yeah, kind of. I mean,
Like
some
it
people-
makes them feel better.
I mean, there's a filter there too. Whenever, regardless, you're still putting yourself out online, whether it's to a camera,
Right,
through a microphone, or behind a keyboard or behind a phone.
right,
Whenever it's not you putting yourself out there on video with audio applied to it, it's a lot less personal when it's just a picture of, like, maybe a picture of you, your account posted this.
right.
Because at that point, you could probably have a hard time convincing whoever what you wrote about them.
Right.
But you could convince the rest of the world easily, oh, my account was hacked, or somebody did
Right.
this, didn't mean it. But if you wrote something about somebody, yeah, you would have a hard time convincing that person that it wasn't you doing it.
Right.
But if you're on video saying it, I mean, you're not going to convince anybody. There's
Right.
the other side of that. But when you're behind a phone or a keyboard and a screen, there's that little bit of a filter there that people can be who they want to be a
Right.
lot easier.
Yeah, because people
I
aren't
think-
watching you. I have more fun with video, though. To be honest,
Video's tough to do, man. I hate video. I hate being on video, but it's part of the show. It kind of separates it into two different elements, because no matter what you do, and it doesn't matter how great you make your content, it could be the best content in the world. It could be the hottest topics, the newest tech, whatever, the craziest hot button topics that will get people outraged. People that watch YouTube or specifically video content are never going to hear your audio show.
right?
And at the same time, if you do an audio show that also has a video counterpart to it, where it's the same show, your audio listeners are they might check out your video show, but if they got onto it by audio, most of them will probably stay with the audio portion. And it's crazy to try and balance between the both, because look at it like this: if we're on video talking, right, and we're talking about something like my phone in
Right.
person here in the studio, it makes, people listening can get some kind of reference that, oh, they're talking about a phone, okay, cell phone, house phone. He didn't say.
Right.
But on video, you can see that it's a cell phone. Do you know what I mean? So you
Yeah.
kind of, if you're gonna do a show that kind of goes to both markets or whatever, both audio and video, yeah, you gotta, if you're gonna talk about stuff or show stuff to a video audience, you're gonna have to also describe it to the audio listeners.
And see, that's my thing. Like, I have such an easier time explaining things when people can see me
Visually, right?
Yeah, visually.
That's always easier.
And I'm just gonna say something because, well, I put it on Facebook. There were people that responded to it. Some didn't, and I get it.
What was it?
Well, I'm going to read it to you.
Oh,
You
okay.
ready? Okay.
I thought you meant the aliens thing.
No, this has nothing to do with aliens.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay, so this was on Thursday, and this was Thursday evening. So this is after a couple of days of watching people write stuff on Facebook, okay?
All right.
So it goes, okay, so I'm fucking confused. A few days ago, everyone was afraid to go to war and the draft coming back. Then our president comes out and speaks to the nation as calm as I've ever seen him. Whether he was on medication or not, I don't know. But did you not think he looked very calm?
I actually didn't even see it. Who was
Okay.
it? Trump?
Yeah, Trump.
Trump, like he was on some.
Well, he was just calm, like he didn't get all worked up. Nothing. And he usually does.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, and I'll continue.
yeah, he does.
Now, the House passed a bill to limit his military action against Iran.
Right.
What the fuck is wrong with people? He never wanted to go to war anyway, because people were saying he wants to go to war. He wants to go to war. No, he doesn't. Okay, it keeps going. I'm 40 years old, and I have never, ever seen more people act like complete idiots as I have in this last week.
Right.
And I'm not one to post about politics,
yeah.
but I'm thinking there's a lot of people needing a mental health check right now because we've recently discovered how insignificant our planet is compared to the trillions of other ones.
Yeah.
And motherfuckers be having strokes and heart attacks over Donald Trump.
Right.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, man, it is.
Like,
Some people just don't care about, like, there's
or maybe they don't want to think about it.
like there's a shift, and it's the times that they're changing, man. I think is what it is.
Right.
Do you remember?
They're definitely changing.
I can't say for everybody, but I remember a time of coming home from school, and I'd do homework or whatever, and then we'd have dinner, and dad, stepdad get home, flip on the news, local news, watch it, and then if he was still up later, he might watch a different channel news at a different time.
Right.
And now it's I don't like. I think he still exists. Like when he comes home from work, he'll watch CNN or news or whatever, and maybe he'll check out stuff to be like, make fun of it on a different news channel.
Right.
If he watches this and makes fun of Fox. I'm not saying he makes fun of Fox News, but
I always look at Fox
right,
News.
as an example, make fun of them and watching this other news channel. Okay. There's people that still do that. There's people that still, they get their news from the newspaper.
Yeah.
That they have never experienced this world, this mobile. You literally have news minutes after it happens. Now,
Right.
granted, you don't have the full breakdown like you will days after it's already happened, and more
Right.
details come in. But you're also, I don't know if getting news that instantly as it happens and from unverified sources, meaning somebody that witnessed said event and is
Right.
talking about it on their phone, tweeting about it, whatever. Yeah, I don't know which way is better, getting it the old way or the new way.
Right.
But I know there's people that have only ever experienced news this way, younger generations, and then people that only ever got it the old way, days after it happened, or maybe they, I guess the news works in like a 24-hour cycle,
Yeah.
supposedly.
Supposedly.
I don't know.
Well, my mom, it took her forever, but now that's the only place she finds news is on her smartphone.
Right. Well,
Because there's so many different places to go to find it. You can get celebrity news. You can get,
Whatever, yeah.
any type of news.
there's even apps that it's like you build your own like magazine.
Yeah.
Like you're not getting all these different subscriptions like of actual physical magazines. It's electronic, and you can have it come up with articles that interest you, whether it's science, sports, politics,
Right.
world news, food, a restaurant, whatever. Yeah, you can build and it's, I don't know, man, it's a cool world to live in.
Right. Hi, Carla Kowalczyk. Thanks for checking us out.
Where's that at?
She's on Facebook.
No, okay.
I worked with her for, wow, 9 years, I think, before I messed my back up.
Work.
Yeah, at Penn State. Yep. She's
a great American pastime.
Wonderful woman. What else you want to talk about?
I don't know, man. I think we're going to wind her down there.
Okay, one last, before we wind her down. Do you see my shoes?
Yeah. They're talking.
They're talking, and they're so tight. I don't own a pair of shoes anymore.
What do you mean?
need to get a pair. Well, I usually wear sandals. Well, I wore them yesterday, and with all the fucking mud.
Yeah, you can't do
Dude,
that,
my
man.
socks were wet. My feet looked like, So, yeah.
What size, man?
11.
11s?
Or 10, 10 and a half. See, these are 10s, but... And I took my friend over to State College last night with the kids.
Right.
We went to the trampoline park, and then I showed her the dumpster diving routine, okay?
Dude, that's a real thing.
Go. It is a real thing.
People do it.
We went to Dick's.
People make money doing it.
And you know what? I found a pair of 11 shoes.
There you go.
And the only thing that was wrong were the laces were cut. Because sometimes you find clothes and they'll take something to it and they'll just cut it all up. So they can't be used. Why? I have no fucking clue. Right.
That's
just a prick, I think.
That's
manager.
one of them things. I'm not happy. Nobody else is going to be happy.
Right.
I didn't get a new shirt. I can't keep this shirt. You ain't getting it either,
Right. What's up, Mike? Thanks for checking us out.
Dang, we got people getting ready to wind it down and the chat's filling up.
Are you going to be around today, Mike? Respond back if you will be, because I want you to do some pictures.
Another thing, too, Brandon, I saw you saying about available to come in for voice. Hopefully next week isn't pushing it too close to the date when you're moving. I will get you in. I just literally didn't have it set up today.
I feel bad for you, Brandon, if you're moving. I hate moving.
Yeah, moving's awful. He's a friend of mine.
Okay.
But yeah, he jealous, man. So jealous. This dude's out in Arizona.
Okay.
Nice, warm, dry heat. Oh, and
I'd love to be out there right now.
We got to deal with this crap here.
Okay, Mike, since you're not going to be around today, buddy, get a hold of me the next time you're in town. I just didn't want to type it out. So I hope you're still on there.
All right, people. Our co-host for each independent show didn't make it. We didn't really throw them under the bus.
No, and they had their things to do, and we respect that.
Life comes at you.
Yeah.
What I want to know, though, Jimmy, and if is he going to watch this?
Oh,
later?
he'll watch. He might be watching now.
Is this a Christmas party from 2019, or is this a 2020 Christmas party? Like, are you going to an early one?
That's what I know, and that's what I was getting on his shit about it. I'm
early or late? Like,
dude, it's January. Don't you think you had the Christmas party in December?
In December, or wait till December to have
Right. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. All right. I think that's good. You got a thumbs up. That's cool.
Nice.
Thank you, people, for attending and joining. We'll be back again sometime, I'm sure.
Yeah, and like I said, next time we're gonna do a show. You're gonna be on my podcast.
Yes.
Which you can find on Anchor, the Anchor app. Make sure you go check it out. It's called the Jimmy and Todd Show. It's very funny.
I personally listen, so.
And check out the Antisocial Experience on YouTube, Facebook. Anywhere else, Nick? Twitter?
No.
Put it on there?
The episodes are listed there.
Okay.
But yeah. YouTube, Facebook.
All right.
Both of those places.
Support us. Share our stuff.
Share it. Get it out there.
It only takes a second.
We weren't prepared today, but if ever we can be prepared, we are going to. I have everything I need to have people call in. Like, we'd be sitting here if somebody wants to call, we'll get them on hold, get them on the line.
Speaking of that,
before
we end the episode, I want to let y'all listen to a phone message that I got today from somebody. If I can find it here. It was an eye-opener.
Are you muted?
I don't know where to find it. Here, wait a minute. Oh, right there. Here we go. All right. Put this into the microphone. Okay, this is from Jennifer Smart, everybody.
Uh-oh. Is it good or bad?
Well, you'll see. Let me get it.
Guys.
Wait, I'll start it over. Here we go.
Oh my fucking God. You guys seriously need to stop. You're ruining people's lives.
Whose
and
lives?
I don't appreciate it. And if you don't fucking stop, I will raise all kinds of hell and make my own podcast.
Okay. Dickheads. Wow. Thanks, Jennifer Smart, for sending that in. I have no idea who you are. But
ruiners of lives.
yeah,
we
but,
are.
Yeah.
Get in line.
Thanks for the support.
If you want your life ruined,
Right.
You're next. No.
And that's the thing. I don't care. I don't care. If that's what you want to say to us, say it. You're not going to hurt my feelings. They've been hurt so much.
Oh, no, man. I don't want to cry on the air. Come on
Yeah.
now.
Well, the next episode we do, I'm going to be crying.
I know. I forgot to ask Flat Earth Santa for more tissues. All right.
But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate it.
And that's it.
And that's it.